Hey, good afternoon, second graders. We're going to try to do our math lesson on the board today so that I have more room to write and you'll be able to see it hopefully a little bit better than what I was doing just on the small dry boards. So, today's lesson, what you will need to have out, you will need to have your page that is your application problem. It's page 37. So make sure you have that because we're going to be doing that in our lesson. And then you will have the problem set page, which would be like page 38 and page 39, back to back. And then you will have your exit ticket that should be like page 40. So those are the 3 pages that you need for lessons today. And you'll need your pencil. Okay? So what we're going to do today in our lesson is we're going to continue working with that take out 10 and subtract. We practiced take out 10 and subtract yesterday. Okay? So let me give you that example again of what we did yesterday. If I have 30 minus 7. If I have 30 minus 7, and I want to take 10 out so that I can subtract easily, I would make my number bond. I would take 10 out from my 30, and then I know that if I take 10 out of that 30, I have 20 left. Okay? So now I've taken 10 out of 30, and then I have my 20 left. Now I can go on and add and subtract here. My problem was 30 minus 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make that subtraction problem. The easy subtraction problem. So I'm going to take my 10, and I'm going to take this 7, and I'm going to make the subtraction problem. 10 minus 7. Well, I can easily do 10 minus 7. I can either do it in my brain or I can do it on my hands. I can easily do 10 minus 7. Okay? If I have 7, 8, 9, 10. 3. So 10 minus 7 is that 3. Now I'm going to do the addition problem. Well, with the addition problem, I'm going to take the 20, and I'm going to take the 3, and I'm going to add them together. So I have 20 plus 3. Well, I know that I learned earlier in the school year when we first started about slide numbers. I know that if a number ends in that 0, it is a slide number, and I could just slide that other number right into it. So I could slide this 3 to replace the 0. And if I do that, if I replace that 0 with that 3, when I slide it over, I get the answer of 23. So I know that 30 minus 7 is 23. Okay? So I can easily do that by pulling out a 10, getting what I have left, making a subtraction problem, then making an addition problem so that I can find my answer very quickly. Okay? Well, let's see. Let me have you watch another one, please. What if I have 50 minus 5? I have 50 minus 5. I'm going to take that 10 out. Oh, here's my takeout, my number bond. I'm going to take 10 out of 50, and I would have 40 left. Okay? Here's my 40. Because I know that 10 plus 40 makes my 50. That's my number bond. 10 plus 40 makes that 50. Hey, now I need to make my subtraction problem. I always use my 10, and I use this number that's over here that I'm originally subtracting to make a subtraction problem. 10 minus 5. Well, 10 minus 5, I can count it up or I can know it in my brain. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That gives me 5. Now I'm ready to add. When I add, I take this number and I take the answer and I add them together. 40 plus 5. Up. Here we go. I just heard somebody say it. It's a slide number. I have a 0 here. So this becomes my slide number. That 5 just takes the place of that 0. 40 plus 5 is that 45. So I know that 50 minus 5 is 45. Okay? There's that slide number. Hey! We're going to practice one more. One more. Okay, one more. So, let's do 90 minus 8. 90 minus 8. Okay, I'm going to make that number bond. I'm going to take out that 10. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out that 10. Well, 90, if I take 10 out, I can count backwards by 10s. 90, 80. Whoop, there it is. I know that 80 plus 10 makes my 90. I'm ready to now make that subtraction problem. I use the 10 and I use the 8 to make my subtraction problem. 10 minus 8 equals 2. 8, 9, 10. I have 2 left. 2 fingers. Hey, now I'm ready to add. I use the 80 plus my answer. Okay? 80 plus 2 equals. This is my slide number. There's that 0. So this 2 slides over and takes the place of that 0. So my answer becomes 82. So I know that 90 minus 8 equals 82. Okay? That is that take 10 out so that we can subtract quickly. Take 10 out. It's a way that we can subtract easier than making all of those dots and all of those lines. Okay? Well, let's try something that doesn't have a slide number. So today we're going to move into a number that we're going to subtract. There's not a slide number for it. So we're going to practice something that doesn't have a slide number. Okay? So let's say I have 13 minus 8. Now, I know you guys are going to sit there and say, oh, I know what that is, 13 minus 8. It's really simple. I can do that on my fingers, or I know it in my brain. We're going to start out simple so that I can show you, so I can teach you how to do this when there's not a slide number involved. Oh, I'm going to make my number bond. First thing I do is make my number bond. I'm going to pull that 10 out. I have 13. If I take 10 out of there, take that 1 10 away, which would be this one here, I have 3 left. So, if I take this 10 away, I have 3 left right here. Now I'm ready to subtract. I'm going to do the same thing I did if I had a slide number at the end, but I'm not having a number that has a slide number now. This number did not end in 0, so there's no slide numbers. Hey, I'm going to use my 10, and I'm going to use my 8. 10 minus 8. Here we go. 10 minus 8, that's easy. 10, I rep 8, 9, 10. I have 2 left. Okay? Now, I'm going to use my 3, and I'm going to use my 2, and add them together. 3 plus 2 equals. I don't have a slide number there, but I can easily think of what 3 plus 2 is. Okay, I can think in my brain. 3 plus 2 is 5. Or I can say, well, I have 3, 4, 5. That would be adding 2 more. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I know that 13 minus 8 equals 5. Same concept, same pulling 10 out, same finding what's left, using the same, always starting with the 10 and this number to subtract, and then this number in the answer to get my answer. Okay? Let's try another one. These get easier and easier the more that we do. Let's try a little bit bigger number. Let's try 23 minus 8. 23 minus 8. I'm going to make my number bond. Okay? I'm going to pull 10 out. I'm going to pull 10 out. This is where we have to think. I'm taking one of these 10s away. So that leaves me with 13 left. That leaves me with 13 left. I took one of these 10s away to leave me with 13. Okay? Now, I'm ready to subtract. I'm going to use my 10, and I'm going to use my 8. 10 minus 8. Okay, here we go. 10 minus 8. 8, 9, 10. Know it in my brain. I have my 2. Now I have my 13, and I have my 2 that I'm going to use. I'm going to add them together. 13 plus 2. A little bit harder to add together. 13 plus 2. Well, I'm going to start with my 13, and I'm going to count on. I have 13, 14, 15. So if I add 2 to 13, I start with that 13. I say 13, 14, 15. I get the answer of 15. So I know that 23 minus 8 is 15. I didn't change anything. I pulled 10 out. And when I pulled that 10 out, this 2 actually becomes a 1. 1 and a 3 there. That makes that 13. Okay? I pulled a 10 out. Did my subtraction and I did my addition. Hey, let's try one more. What if I have 43 minus 8? The first thing we're going to do is make that number bond. I'm going to pull 10 out of that 43. I'm taking one 10 from this 4. There are 4 10s there. 4 10s in that 43. And I'm taking one away. Taking one away. I have 3 left. I have 3 left. Okay? So I have 33 left. As I have 3 10s. If I have 4 10s, and I take one 10 away, I have a 10, 20, 30 left. That's where I get my 33, because here's my 1s. Okay? So if I have 4 10s, and I take one of them away, 10, 20, 33. That's what I have left, 33. Now I'm going to subtract. I'm using my 10, and I'm using my 8. 10 minus 8 is that 2. And now I'm going to use the 33, and I'm going to add that 2. 33 plus 2. I'm at 33. I'm going to count on 2 more. 33, 34, 35. So I'm at 33, 34, 35. 43 minus 8 is 35. Okay? And that is my lesson, what I'm teaching you today. Okay? So now, I would like you to get your application problem page and your pencil, and we are going to do the application problem together. Okay? We're going to do the application problem together. Okay. My application problem says, Emma has 45 pencils. 8 pencils are sharpened. How many pencils are not sharpened? Let's read that again. Emma has 45 pencils. 8 pencils are sharpened. How many pencils are not sharpened? Hey, I have to pull out that math information. We practiced this yesterday. I'm going to pull out those numbers. So, Emma has 45 pencils. Can you write that along the side of your square, just like we did yesterday? Then she has 8 pencils that are sharpened. That's another math word. 8. 8 pencils that are sharpened. She has 45. 8 of them are sharpened. They want to know how many are not sharpened. How many not? Okay? So we can write how many not. How many are not sharpened? That's my question. Well, how many not means I need to subtract. So I put my subtraction sign. So on the side of my paper in my box, I have 45, I have 8, I have how many not with my question, and my subtraction sign. Okay, so now I'm ready to solve my problem. I'm going to solve this with a tape diagram like we did yesterday. We're going to make our tape diagram. So, my first piece of tape has 45 in it. Those are my 45 pencils. Well, it's telling me I'm going to subtract. So when I subtract, my tape does not touch. We have to keep it separate. My tape does not touch when we subtract. So I'm going to draw another piece of tape, and that's going to be 8. Okay, we learned this yesterday. If I'm going to subtract, my numbers are going to get smaller. So do I need a roof to get my number bigger, or do I need that basement to make my number smaller? That's right, I need a basement. I'm subtracting, so I want a basement. So I'm going to draw my basement lines. And I'm going to put my question mark in there because that's what I'm trying to find out. Okay? 45 minus 8. I have my basement. Well, let's write the problem out. I have 45 minus 8. I'm going to use that pull out 10. Take out 10. It's easy to do. So I'm going to make my number bond. I'm going to take 10 out of this 4. I have 4 10s if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my 4 10s. I'm going to take 1 10 away and write it here. I have 10, 20, 30, 35. 10, 20, 30, 35. That's what I have left. 35. Now I'm ready to do my problem. 10 and 8. I'm going to subtract. 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. We've been practicing that. Now I'm going to do my addition. I'm going to use 35 and 2. 35 plus 2. So keep following along what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't want that. I'm going to get rid of the timer. don't have a slide number here. So I have 35, 36, 37. I start at 35 and I count up. 36, 37. So my answer is 37. So I know that 45 minus 8 equals 37. And that is my application problem for today. We start out with our information. We made our tape diagram with the basement because we're subtracting. I wrote my problem. Did my take out 10. I subtracted 10 and 8 to get 2. I used my 35 plus that 2 to get 37, which is the answer. She has 37 unsharpened, or 37 sharpened pencils. Okay? Way to go. Good job. All right. Now, if you would turn to the problem set page. Okay? We have our problem set page. It's like page 38, I believe. Hey, we're going to do a few more problems together. We're going to skip A, and we're going to do B. Let's do problem B. So we're working on problem B, okay? Problem B says 22 minus 9, okay? I want you to do this problem with me. 22 minus 9. I'm going to take out 10. If I have 2 there, if I have 2 10s, 1 10, 2 10s, if I take one away, I have 1 10 left, and then I have my 2, so it's 10, 12. Okay? So I have 12 left. Now I can do my problem. I can use my 10, and I can use my 9. I'll stop doing that. My 10 and my 9. 10 minus 9 equals 1. 9, 10. I just need 1. Now I can use my 12 and my 1 to add. 12 plus 1 equals 13. So my answer is 13. My answer is 13. Okay? It's not that hard. Okay? We're going to try one more together, and then you're going to do some work on your own. Okay? So let's do 42 minus 9. This is problem C. 42 minus 9. That's problem C. Okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to take 10 out. So I'm taking that 10 out. I have 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I take 1 away. I have 10, 20, 30, 2. That's what I have left. I have 32 left. 10, 20, 32. I have 32 left. I'm ready to subtract 10 and 9. 10 minus 9 equals that 1. Now I'm ready to add 32 and 1. 32 plus 1, 32 and 33, if I add 1 to it, is 33. So my answer is 33. Okay? This is what I want you to do. You're going to practice doing the next 6 problems. Okay? D, E, F, G, H, I. You're going to do those 6 problems. You do not have to do any of them on the back side. You can put an X through this side. We're not going to do this side, okay? X this side out. We're not going to do this side. So go on and pause And I want you to solve the rest of those problems. And then when you come back, I will tell you the answers to those problems. Okay, so my next problem, my answers are D is 5. E is 15. F is 45. G is 8. H is 18. I is 78. Good job on practicing. Now, on your own, once you get off of the video, you have your exit ticket. Okay? You have your exit ticket to do. Your exit ticket has 3 problems. That's all. Exit ticket has 3 problems. Try to solve those problems using this way. If you can do it in your brain, that's okay, but I really want to see your work. Okay? Solve this. Make sure your name is on that exit ticket. Put everything back in your Wednesday folder. Okay? Thank you for listening to the math problems.